Well, officials say there are no signs of a struggle and Bird's hands were not bound. Now to the latest regarding one of the two standoffs that happened today. A dramatic situation at Victory Community Church in the foothills ends with an arrest. Nico, it's a sad day for MCAS Yuma. Captain Jose Negretti says a loss like this is like losing a family member. The whole air station is in mourning. Well, we have some breaking news for you tonight. Coming in earlier tonight, the Yuma Police Department surrounded a home on the corner of 1st Street and Magnolia Avenue. Just 200 yards behind us, NTSB is investigating the site. The plane and the truck are still there. Out here at the Yuma Air Show at the Marine Corps Air Base, and it's day one of the air show. It's the twilight show tonight, so come on out. It's free admission. Out here at City Hall getting ready for the City Council meeting to begin. And what's on the agenda tonight? Well, crossing or stopping in a roadway. Senator John McCain discussed the importance of military in Arizona at MCAS Yuma today. I'm still out here at the Desert Hills Golf Course. And here we are supporting the Got a Dream Foundation. I'm here with one of the founders. It is no joke. They are protected and weighted down, and they actually have to run and crawl through the houses with all this gear. It's such a great opportunity to come out, try on all the gear. The Field to Feast tour took a turn for the worst earlier today. With 52 passengers on board, the bus turned over just in these fields behind me. New Year's around the corner. People like to throw fireworks into the mix, but something as simple as this can be dangerous. Has really come together today, and I have Barbara Rochester from the Crossroads Mission to tell you all about it. How many turkeys do we have? Special morning here at the DMV where hundreds of undocumented workers are going to be lined outside these doors where they can finally receive their driver's licenses, something they've been waiting their whole lives for. It's been a very controversial issue here in Arizona, and today they proposed 10 new laws, one being medical marijuana for those who suffer from PTSD. All right, thanks, Nick. Your weather predictions were correct, and as you can see, it is rainy and gloomy out here in the desert Southwest, weather that we don't see very often. YRMC has seen an increase in flu-like symptoms this season, and they urge you to get your flu shot. It's never too late. Well, an employee of NHL's Minnesota Wild is battling cancer and scheduled for surgery next week. Well, a flood watch is still in effect for most of the area. Standing by is meteorologist Nick Maruziak to tell us how to prepare. Nick. Urban League also shows that even though Hispanics in America are economically doing a little better than blacks, their net worth and income are far behind where white Americans lie. Nico, it's a sad day for MCAS Yuma. Captain Jose Negretti says a loss like this is like losing a family member. The whole air station is in mourning. A day after the runway tragedy, Marine Corps Air Station Yuma is in mourning after the loss of a family member.
It's times like this where we really come together as a family to take care of one another and take care of each other's families. As
Marines, they prepare for everything. Nothing could have prepared them for this.
You acquire an inherent risk. However, you know, when tragedies like this happen, it's something that nobody's ever really ready for.
If something like this does occur on the flight line, there is protocol they follow.
The tower is typically the first one to see it because they're the ones controlling all aircraft coming in and out of that flight line.
The tower then contacts the Base Operations Center where they follow a step-by-step checklist.
That'll include information such as the aircraft, the type of aircraft, if known, the status of the pilot, his call sign.
Then they begin notifying all involved parties.
EMT, our emergency personnel services, the air crash fire rescue services, flight surgeon.
The investigation is still ongoing.
Everybody working together to ensure that we have the safest operations possible. In the time that I've been here, this is the first tragedy of its kind since I have been here for about the last 8 months.
At this time, the name of the Marine still has not been released. Marine Corps officials are still working to contact the victim's family. Live in the studio, Molly Lange, News 11. Welcome back. Well, Red Bull gives you wings, and for one pilot, it makes you do loop-de-loos in the sky. We met up with a one-of-a-kind man who is the only FAA-approved helicopter pilot to go upside down. Red Bull gives you wings, and for Chuck Aaron, it makes you loop, roll, and vertical climb. Aaron is the only pilot licensed by the FAA to perform aerobatics in a helicopter in the United States.
A group of guys there's 2 more guys that do the same thing I do for Red Bull in Europe. So I started everything here, and then they built it up over there, and so they're doing all of Europe and I do all of the U.S.
Well, how does one become an aerobatic helicopter pilot?
The owner of Red Bull asked me if he could do aerobatics in a helicopter. I said, no, you can't do aerobatics in helicopters.
Aaron held on to that idea and came up with a plan to make it happen. Once he got the FAA approval, the sky was the limit.
Finally, when it got all done, this thing hit me. Like, now I've got to go out there and actually do it. I mean, it's like that feeling where you're standing out at the end of the diving board, you know, the sharks down there.
Aaron performs all over the country. He does up to 30 air shows a year.
I don't think about the people on the ground watching me. I actually don't even look at the crowds until I'm finished with my air show.
The show lasts about 5 minutes.
But it's 5 minutes being upside down.
Aaron says he's been able to do things that most people didn't think could be done.
Take the helicopter and flip it over backwards and just literally fall down on my tail.
And his advice for all you dreamers out there:
you know, whatever it is you're doing, get a passion for it. If you have a personal passion to do something, do it.
The Yuma Air Show is one of a kind, the only one in all of Arizona this year. We were able to witness the Misty Blues, the all-women skydiving team, in action. The Misty Blues say the high they get from jumping makes them want to do it over and over again. MCAS Yuma brought back the F-35, which was a huge hit last year, being the most advanced weapon system in all of the U.S. arsenal.
I grew up watching Top Gun and thought I would never do that, and then I ended up doing just that. And it's an honor to serve my country and do what we do every day. We enjoy it.
Well, the Yuma Air Show was a one-of-a-kind experience. I cannot wait for next year. Marine Corps Air Station Search and Rescue not only supports the Marine Corps forces, but also the safety of our community. If someone goes missing or if there is a person in distress, the SAR team is there.
Our priority here and our mission, number one, is to support the Marine Corps and support all the training that comes around here. As a secondary mission, we've, for the last 57 years, we've worked with the local community and the Sheriff's Department around here.
They work to rescue people in the river, desert, and mountain ranges.
Very dark night operations with someone possibly that fell through a very deep crevasse or ravine where the only way to get to them is to rappel a corpsman outside from the helicopter while hovering over that person, and then having to pick the corpsman and the patient back up through this very narrow terrain and not swing them back into the wall.
SAR is the only agency that can rescue at night.
They're like, well, we got to wait until daylight because we can't do this at night. So the implications are someone could get really hurt.
This is what they're trained to do.
Train like we fight and fight like we train. So it's when we actually get a call, it's just business as usual.
Urquhart says that being in the community is very rewarding.
After everything's done and said, the paperwork's done, and we're just relaxing in the ready room, it's like, yeah, we saved that person's life. It does feel good.
You can see them in action this weekend at the Yuma Air Show, simulating a real live rescue. And if that's not enough excitement for you, they will also be giving a demonstration at night. Senator John McCain discussed the importance of military in Arizona at MCAS Yuma today. Arizona Senator John McCain, Senator Jeff Flake, and other state representatives traveled to several Arizona bases to look at the challenges they are facing.
Been briefed on the F-35 and the rapid expansion that's going to take place here at MCAS Yuma.
McCain says because of the expansion, more of the Marine Corps will be stationed out of Yuma.
On both barracks and housing, and we intend to look at that very carefully.
McCain says this is all dependent on being able to get the financial support from Congress.
If sequestration resumes, then it's going to have a serious and damaging impact both here at MCAS and at the Yuma Proving Ground.
McCain says he, as well as the other representatives, will take what they learned in Yuma back to Washington. Reporting at MCAS Yuma, I'm Molly Lange. A traffic stop like no other. Tuesday evening, Yuma County Sheriff's Office got a call from a woman. She said a police officer pulled her over, but that he wasn't an officer at all. On the corner of Somerton Avenue and County 14th, the so-called fake cop turned on his sirens and lights and pulled her over. But when she rolled down her window, he just laughed, walked back to his car, and drove away. So what would you do if something like this happened to you?
It's a real touchy situation. You know, it's very hard. I'm not going to say do not pull over. You know, if you're close to a police station, pull over there. Ask to speak to a supervisor that way.
YCSO also has a tip if you feel something's not right.
Pull over in a well-lit area. Turn on your flashers, turn on a blinker to show that you are pulling over.
You can ask an officer for their identification. You know, the badge number, employee number.
Officer Franklin says, for one, it's illegal. And two, it's rare something like this happens. But it's something the police take seriously.
It bothers me because, like you said, you know, we go through a lot of training. There's a lot involved in it. I mean, there's a lot of responsibility that comes with it, a lot of danger that comes with it.
Officers described the suspect vehicle as a late 1980s brown Honda.
I was impressed with her first time I saw her. For Glenn and Arlene Jackman, it was love at first sight.
It really caught my eye.
And he looked so handsome in his uniform. I just fell in love with him.
After 61 years together, marriage is a blessing when you're married to your best friend.
The older we get, the closer we get.
Jackman says they've built their marriage on the foundation of Christ.
Being married's a full-time job.
Through their long-lasting love, they are an example for the whole family.
We've really tried to set a good example for them, but, you know, we make mistakes too.
To them, family is everything. They have 3 beautiful daughters, Glenda, Cindy, and Tracy.
I have awesome son-in-laws. I mean, we are so blessed.
A couple of the girls, when they first were married, and their husband would want to do that something, and they'd say, "But Dad said." And I told them, "Don't do that."
The Jackmans continue to fall in love with each other more and more every day.
She means everything to me. She is my partner. She's my helpmate. She's everything that you could ask for in a wife. We think about, you know, you have to think when I'm 82 years old, and when you think, we know we got a lot more years behind us than we have in front of us. And so we have to think about what it would be like. And I can't imagine what it would be like to be alone.
He's my soulmate. I don't know what I'd do without him.
Every day they get to spend together is a gift. But what's their secret to a long-lasting love?
It's a lifetime project.
You quickly learn which button not to push. Divorce was just not in our vocabulary. Like him, I just would not like to do without him. There's no problem too big that cannot be resolved, you know, when you both try.